Moment, sir. The argument that the Niger Delta has, made the case very clearly, and a lot of people understand that. Because of that, they have been given other ministries as well. You have the Niger Delta Development Commission. You have a ministry in favor of the Niger Delta. Yes. I mean, these are all development, and these ministries will get allocations. The NDDC is directly under the presidency, and then you also have the 13%.
Yes.
They believe that they're already getting, all of this monies through other means.
No, they are not. You see, all these things are mere flea bites on the kernel of the problems in the Niger Delta, if I may say so. You see, what is the Ministry for Niger Delta? What does it do? What does it do? If anybody may tell me, nothing. And it is peopled by people who are not even Niger Deltans. I mean, if you take the minister of Niger Delta, the deputy minister or the minister of state in that place is going to be taken from another place, and so on. And then you see the workforce in that place. They draw from several other. What does the Ministry for Niger Delta do for Niger Delta? But that's number one. And then NDDC, you know that like UMPADEC, which is its predecessor, NDDC is I think it is a catastrophe, if I may say. It does nothing. What does it do? The Niger Delta remains what it was before the establishment of UMPADEC or NDDC. So that's not what. But what we are saying is these areas, the Niger Delta, which had caused problems for this country before the advent of the Yaradua, intervention the other time, then the devolution of powers, from the center, so that we can decongest the center the way it is, because today it is so congested, it's so crowded that the whole focus is on Abuja, and it should not be so.
So you support the regions having more powers?
Oh yes, because you see, the condition precedent to the formation of Nigeria itself was the establishment of a federation, not a unitary state. And it was a federation, truly, properly so-called, until the military came in 1966. And then, during the first budget speech, during the first budget speech by the military, by Agu Ironsi, on the 31st of March, 1966, that Nigeria became a unitary state. Today, and the constitution reflects that much, because this constitution that we have here is decree number 24 of 1999, decree 24. So it is a relic. This constitution is a relic of our sordid military past.
Is that why you talked about changing the 1999 constitution in your?
That's why I've always preached up the need not to amend the constitution, but to review the constitution. And there is a yawning gap between amendment and reviewing. When you review, you give the people almost a brand new constitution. If you amend, you are just going to amend certain provisions of the constitution, sections 1, 2, 3, and then 20, and then 30. That is not what I want.
Who can review it? Is it the National Conference?
It is not the National Conference. The National Conference will set the ball rolling. Tell us what they think is wrong with the Constitution. Then a Constituent Assembly. I mean Constituent Assembly, not the National Assembly, because Section 9 of the Constitution does not allow this National Assembly, does not empower them to review the Constitution. They can only alter, to use the language of the Constitution, or amend the provisions of the Constitution. You see? But they cannot review the Constitution. It's only a Constituent Assembly, properly so-called, that can do it. Today, we have a convoluted, exclusive legislative list, constitution, exclusive legislative list, which used to be 44, is now 68 items in the exclusive legislative list. The other time it used to be 18, the concurrent legislative list used to be 18, is now 30, and so on.
What do you say to those who say, be that as it may, yes, even the ones you have on the legislative list and the concurrent list, nothing much has been done in terms of those ones. And now we want the exclusive legislative list.
Nothing much has been done, but it doesn't tell us what we truly should be. Because Section 1 of the Constitution says, announces to the whole world that we are a federation. Same thing with Section 2. Now, but we are anything but a federation. You know, because the Constitution does not make us so. Let us have a good Constitution first. We copied this thing from the United States of America. Their exclusive legislative list has only 18 items. Check it any day. Has only 18 items. We have 68. Now, then we go ahead to have a concurrent legislative list, 50% of which items are meant for the National Assembly to legislate on. You see, now in America, in Switzerland, in Canada, they have what we call residual list, which belongs to the states, to the federating units, or to the cantons in Switzerland, you know, and to states in America. But here, we don't have any residual list like we used to have during the First Republic. And that is the problem. Everybody, all of the founding fathers, the prominent founding fathers of this country, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, Chief Obafemi Awolowo, and Ahmadu Bello, swore Nigeria would not come to be unless and until it was a federation, not unitary state. And then the military came to change all these things. So almost everything about the military has been changed, but for the Constitution, which remains unitary because of this centralization thing, which the military is notorious. No, I don't want to say notorious for, but well known for, if I may say so.
Well known for, but again, it would also seem as if the country seemed to love most of the things, or some of the things that the military has actually bequeathed to us as a people. The national anthem, the first that was given to us by a British who was penned for us in 1960, was during that era until about 78.
Yes.
And we saw it was 18 years in practice before we dropped it after so many petitions, and notably from the Yoruba social cultural group, the Omo Ibe Oduduwa, which actually petitioned some of the lyrics in that particular anthem. The National Conference seemed to have gone back to that first love of that anthem.
Yes, I agree with that. I plumb for the first national anthem, and not this one, because this one has no meaning. That one is so philosophical. Oh, Nigeria, we hail thee, our own dear native land. You know, though tongue may differ, it's a reflection of what we are. But this one, what is it? We just sing. You see, we just sing. It is not, you can't even sing it mellifluently like the other one. But because that one was authored by a British lady, you know, we just thought that we could set it aside in favor of this one, which was authored by a Nigerian policeman. Now, if we were to go like that, we would abandon the name Nigeria, because the name Nigeria was given to us by Flora Shaw, the girlfriend of, later the wife of Lord Lugard.
Some people think we should change our name too. That's
you want to
that's
change,
the thought of some people. But the truth is, don't you also say that there could be a generational divide here in terms of the national anthem? Because some people will not agree with, you know, a lot of people at the conference, especially if you take a poll of young people, they believe that there's absolutely nothing wrong with this particular national anthem, especially since it has a second stanza, which we usually use, which has been advocated be the national prayer. No.
Yes, you see, we have to, I think somebody has to have time to analyze the various stanzas, the wordings of the first and the second national anthems, so that we can see the differences. And it will be so clear by the time you have analyzed. You see, because the way we are, Nigeria comprises a disparate congeries of ethnic nationalities. And in spite of that, we forged ahead as one nation. And that is what the first national anthem reflects very, very adequately. Now, but this second one is neither here nor there. I cannot see the philosophy in it. Because, so unless somebody analyzes it, I could find the time to analyze the two anthems for people to see the difference. Because there's a yawning gap between the first and the second one. And the only reason I think they set aside the first one is what I told you earlier on.